Sorry, lighting's not that great. Well, changing the spark plugs on this. I already made a video spark plug tip. Let me see. This is for the 3.2 liter. I haven't really seen many videos on the changing the valve cover on 3.2. Typically, on most vehicles, what I see on this, it doesn't matter what make and model. It doesn't matter. This is just generally goes along the line of pretty much every vehicle ever made, almost. Especially the ones where the valves sit higher, you know, than most other parts of the engine. And I believe it is probably because, well, these things, you can see what they're made out of. They're just, you know, rubber. And when rubber heats and then cools and then heats and then cools and heats and cools and heats and cools, it cracks. And obviously this heats and cools hundreds, if not thousands of times, valve cover gaskets. The heat rises and the heat comes to the top. Around 80, 90, 100,000 valve covers start to leak. And actually, I think that's more important to change than it is for the oil pan, because when the oil pan leaks, most often it's just leaking on the floor, causing a mess, and it's embarrassing. But when it comes to this stuff, it'll leak on the exhaust manifold and start causing smoke. It'll leak on electronic components and start causing misfires and short circuits and everything. So this is for the Mercedes 3, I think it's 3.2, 3200 cc's. Basically, it's pretty easy. I don't even want to know how much a dealership would charge to do them. I'm just going to show you this part, just show you what I did, basically, how easy. You pop that off. That comes off easily enough. There's no bolts or anything, just pops up. Since I'm going to do the other side, I pop that off right there. There's just a bunch of connectors, and then I pop this off so I could gain access. I already changed the spark plugs. These are a little difficult to get out. That's why I use my I use these. I just get in there, grab it, and pop it out. You could use spark plug wire pulls. There's two. It's a 6-cylinder, and there's 2 spark plugs per cylinder. I just labeled it just to put them back, you know. And it's probably not even cylinder 1, I don't even know, but I know it to me. I'm going to put this side back before I start the other one. 1 would be the one closest to me, driver side, and then 2 would be the one closest to me, the coil, and then 3 is the one farthest from me when I'm facing the vehicle. I know it's not cylinder 1, 2, and 3, but I know what I'm doing, you know. I just do it for myself. And then obviously this is 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6. I just label it like that. It's not the way the cylinders are, but I just do that for myself so I know, because you could probably put these back any which way as long as the wiring harness is connected correctly, and it wouldn't matter, but I just like to put things back. Oh, these are T30. It's a it is a T30, and it's these right here that hold it in. T30 hold these in, so you got to remove these in order to take the valve cover off. Not very difficult. They were stuck in there. They've probably never been changed. The spark plugs, they look pretty old, so you got to wiggle them in there a little bit. It's good to have those hose clamp pliers. That's one of the reasons I did get them. So that's all you really got to take off, and then the valve cover. Oh, so this, you got to pop these off. These are a little difficult, but these pop off. They're just the hoses. There's one right here. You got to I put the hose clamp pliers and twist it, and I get this one. I put the hose clamp pliers and I twist it, and then this is where the coil packs were. 1, 2, 3, and then these are E external torques, inverted torques, E10. So you got 1 right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And these 3 right here, this one, and this one, are longer than the rest of them. The other ones are I believe the other ones are the same size. These are the longer ones. So you got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, and 3. These 3 go right here. 1, 2, 3, and the rest of them just fit there. And in order to take this off on this driver's side right here, you gotta take the fuel line off. It's just a fitting to the fuel line right here, and there you can relieve pressure here. Take that off, and you could put a rag under here if you don't have any special tools or anything like a pressure gauge, and then put a rag under here and then push inside with a screwdriver or whatever you have, and just to relieve pressure. And then I just wrap it like this and keep I just have it wrapped in here, so if anything else is leaking out, you want to be safe, you want to be careful. Make sure you don't have any smoking a cigarette or something, because I can still smell the fumes. And if you have something, it would be wise to plug that hole up right now. But I got a fire extinguisher right here, so I got me a fire extinguisher. You want to make sure you got your fire extinguisher handy, just in case something ignites. I'm gonna try to put it out before it burns the car. But you want to be careful. Like I said, you don't want to cause a fire. But that's it. Just take the coil packs off. That's one of the hoses right here. Here's the other hose right here. Cracked it a little bit, no problem. I'll just put some silicone on it. Be a wise idea to change it out later. But it's pretty easy. I don't even want to know how much they would charge you at a Mercedes dealership to do this. Definitely something you can do on a weekend, a weekday. Only take about a day. You know, change the spark plugs and do the valve cover gasket. It's gonna, like I said, I don't even want to know how much it cost. It'd be a wise idea. Once your vehicle, your Mercedes, hits about 100K, 100,000 miles, just change your valve cover gaskets. Just do it before they stop leaking. Some people may disagree with me. I've seen it over and over and over and over again with valve cover gaskets. They never go past 95, 110,000 miles. They just start leaking, and then people just go until 280,000 miles, and their whole entire engine is just filled with crap. So it's pretty easy. You do have to disconnect this fuel line right here. Don't be scared. Just relieve pressure over here. Relieve some pressure over here. Check it out, look. It has a Mercedes-Benz symbol, but it's made in Japan for Denso. See, I told you, not just Americans have other people's parts in their car, so do Mercedes. They got Japanese parts in their car. Definitely a do-it-yourself job. Definitely something you could do. You get those external Torx for $10. You could get a nice set of Torx bits for real cheap. Just get yourself a swivel, a 3/8, and some extensions. You know, 2, 3, 4, 5-inch extension, and 17 millimeter to take this off. It's easy. You know, it's easy. These were actually harder to take off than I thought. They're not like soft rubber. Not at all. They're hard. You can see that one kind of cracked a little bit. But definitely something to consider. People really, they underestimate oil leaks and the damage that they can cause. This thing is going to be leaking right up here, right on top of that exhaust manifold. And a lot of times you could get away with just tighten the bolts up. Sometimes if you only have 80, 90,000 miles, just tighten the bolts up and it'll just torque them down and it'll stop leaking. But you know, in this case, we'll just put the new valve cover gaskets. I'm just gonna put a little bit of silicone in the grooves. Put this in the valve cover gasket, or inside the valve cover itself first. Let it dry for about 2-3 minutes, and then I'll come and put it in here so it doesn't fall off. I'll use a little bit of silicone. You don't want to put too much silicone. Just put it at the areas where this doesn't want, where this is going to want to fall out. Right here, 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 maybe a little bit right there. And we're talking about just dabs, just enough for it to hold in there when you're putting it in there, and you don't want it to move off center. And then when you go torquing around, run your fingers along the side, make sure it's not coming out. But for the $20 it would cost you in the tools to purchase this. If you have absolutely no tools whatsoever, it's definitely worth it to do it. And you probably want to change your oil. I'd say run it for a couple miles and then change your oil afterwards, because dust and dirt is going to fall in here. So here's where the oil goes right here. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Comment, rate, subscribe.